Here are the developing stories that we're going to touch on in this segment. Glad you're here for an update on your weather because we have some sea effect snow continuing for western Newfoundland. We also have some snow for the southern prairies and some rain on the way for BC. But now we're dealing with some pretty cold temperatures.
It's cold looking at that video, hearing the winds in the background, and it really continues for today. Wind chill values for you in Charlottetown, it feels like -17. That's into the evening hours, so of course when temperatures dip down a little bit. But in terms of your winds, they're easing for some of us to the south. However, to the north, seeing still some windier conditions through today. Eases again with our next system, though. Southern portions of Newfoundland, you're going to start to see those winds pick up yet again by your Friday.
There is a low pressure system that's tracking across the prairies, and with that there is some snowfall, but it's happening well to the north of the actual low pressure center.
Sure, and you know, temperatures are also getting much better through this area as well. They've been braving the cold. We can thank the Clipper systems actually for boosting those temperatures, and then of course there's a little bit of a cold front, but it's not going to do too much in the way of bringing those temperatures down. Another Clipper system, and of course, Cheryl, as you know, I mean, this is a big story. We are seeing soaring temperatures in Alberta as a result.
The temperatures are incredible across southern Alberta, despite it being very windy, I might add. Around Pincher Creek, the winds have been gusting further south, and it's bright and sunny towards Saskatoon and points southwest, but the snowfall to the north.
So cool. Love this video. Now, we do have active weather coming to us. We have been experiencing that through the central and the north coast, but it's your turn through the southern mainland. So, Vancouver, Victoria, you'll be seeing some rain push in late day Thursday, and we're talking a little bit of a soaker.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 30+ millimeters of rain for southwest BC in general terms, but some localized areas could go as high as, say, 60 millimeters of rain. So just something to be mindful of. Systems come in, but we've had our spell of drier weather, and now we have the rain to contend with as we go through Thursday and through Friday. The warmth will continue, so we've got some pretty decent weather across this area. But in terms of the overall pattern that we're seeing, just want to make a mention that for next week, we could have a decent low pressure system riding up the U.S. eastern seaboard, which we'll be watching.
As we go into next week, the Arctic air is going to try to come back and put a real dent in that attempted warm-up.
But I'm noticing here it says milder, and we've got Nova Scotia and parts of Newfoundland shaded in some orange. So obviously we're getting some milder air. At least that's the trend, right, for early next week.
With that will come a significant system.
Yeah, so we've seen some changes in that Ottawa forecast, haven't we?
On Saturday.
And it just goes to show you that things can evolve and really change from day to day. Now we're jumping ahead to Monday, where it looks like the cold air returns.
Right, but in Ontario, we see again Toronto back to -9, Ottawa -14, so that warm-up is really cut short. And again, some milder temperatures, though. Halifax at +4, and that really plays into our system that will develop off the U.S. coast on Sunday. On Monday, a fairly significant system for Atlantic Canada. Rain on the eastern side, some snow working in on the west side. Certainly stay tuned for updates on that developing system.
Yeah, I know the computer models are not exactly agreeing on this yet, so that's something that we definitely need to be watching for. But then we go into late January.
Unfortunately, the models are in good agreement that we go to wrap up January for early February as well.
It is stunning, like those temperatures we're going to be enjoying across the prairie provinces, especially Alberta for today. These are the developing stories. Milder air pushes into the prairies. Clipper in northern Ontario. We'll talk about how much snow we're expecting. And finally, we do have some storms brewing for the east coast. Two systems are going to be merging. Kasia Badurka with you here alongside Sheryl Plouffe. And we've got video. I believe we're going to Brandon.
We have had that as of late in southern Manitoba. Now today the temperatures are still pretty cold. We're in the wind chills of about the -10 range, let's say, across southern Manitoba, but that's an improvement because it's been far colder the last while. But look at the warmth now. We're talking values here, daytime highs that are above freezing in Saskatchewan and Alberta too.
Right, and today is the pinnacle of this mild weather, especially for you in Alberta, where we're talking about daytime highs close to 8 degrees. Some models are showing it could get even more mild, closer to 10 degrees for some places, and that's what we're reflecting to you back with this map. You're seeing the blues spill in, which is lovely. I'm a fan of the blues and the yellows, Cheryl. Yellows meaning temperatures are above that freezing mark, which is what we're seeing for today.
Yeah, keep in mind that those maps also take into account the overnight temperatures, but we're going to see probably a little bit higher than that, probably in the range of more like 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. So northern Ontario, so just a little upper level disturbances coming through, bringing some snowfall there.
Right, but that's round one because we do have another Clipper system on its way. We'll show you that, and there it is. So it's going to be impacting northern Ontario throughout the day, Wednesday into your Thursday as well. And we're talking about, in terms of amounts, 5 centimeters for most of us, and it will be impacting areas closer to cottage country as well. Below seasonal day, so people zipping up, I don't blame you. Something like -6 today in Halifax, and it feels much cooler with the winds. But again, wait until tomorrow.
And some really interesting developments in the long-range forecast, because by next week there's a low pressure, or at least some of these models are hinting at low pressure in the U.S., along the U.S. eastern seaboard. That could have an impact. A little bit uncertain at this point with the computer models, but of course our meteorologists are all following it pretty closely.